I was 22 and I was in so much pain. I was so sad because I felt trapped. I felt locked in that body.
Don't I look like shit?
Be nice to yourself.
Good morning, I love you, Joslyn.
I'm really struggling right now. All I want to do is make a documentary about my transition. All I want to do is record, all I want to do is write, all I want to do is just give this message to other people that this can be a happy existence, And I guess to give that a little bit of that hope to myself, that this is all worth something, because I know it is.
I am headed to California today to shoot this documentary. That's attractive.
Dave, are you excited to go and film this documentary with me?
Yes.
I'm very excited for this.
I'm not excited to be going to Los Angeles, but I'm excited to see you and to be a part of this whole experience.
Our experience, we're driving to Los Angeles. How beautiful is that?
It's so good.
Flip the camera for that. Let the camera see. Get it on camera.
Look at me looking like an old person. Look.
Like just turn it.
I can't, I don't know where it's looking. I don't know. Can you see it?
Can you see it, people?
How do I know? Can you talk to me, people? Tell me if you see it.
I'm Joslyn DeFreece. I was about to slate. I'm Joslyn DeFreece, 5'10", and I live in New York City because somebody does a lot of self-tapes. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, born and raised. I lived there until I graduated high school. I'm passionate about telling my story because I needed to hear my story when I was younger. I really needed that. And so it wasn't there. And any young trans or queer person, or honestly, any young person that feels misunderstood, is looking to be, that feels wrong about who they are, I want that person to know that they're not wrong and that they're not alone. Because that isolation was probably one of the most painful things in my life, was feeling alone in it. And I realize how much power there is when I feel connected to people.
We grew up in a really tight-knit family that we loved to get together for whether it was holidays or it was just family gatherings. Our family is really, we're a very tight-knit family, and I think that there's just a lot of love and laughter. There's a lot of banter back and forth. I think growing up we weren't like an overly affectionate family, but we always knew that the love was always there. Just a lot of laughter, and I think we just really support each other. I think that we've just always been there for each other in the good times and the bad, and I think we just know that we have a really rare and special relationship.
Use Zoom.
I have a lot of inside jokes people don't understand. All right, Brenda?
And during growing up, we would oftentimes have almost like little recitals and like plays and different things, and it was just always known that Joslyn was going to be the star of the show.
It takes her a trip back to a Nazi death camp to appreciate what remembering is all about. Watch and enjoy The Devil's Arithmetic. Understand why we have to remember so much.
Yeah, it's all about remembering.
I know that, Mom, but I'm tired of remembering.
I mean, I didn't have words for it. I knew that I felt like I was a little girl. One of my first memories of realizing that I felt like a little girl was like with my cousins, like playing pretend. When we'd play house, I was the girl, I was the daughter, I'm the sister, I'm, the aunt. Like, I didn't want to be the mom. That was old people. It's just what was natural. It wasn't a blip. It was just, no, that's what I am. My greatest memories as a child were playing pretend, playing dress up with my cousins, playing house. And then on top of that, there's this, from like 5 to 10, I was sad a lot. I was scared a lot. And it also makes me really sad because I think at what a young age I started to hide myself. And there was only certain places where I was allowed to be me. Fully me, without fear of being caught, of being judged, of being, of being wrong.
Initially was at an all-boys school at Mount Michael Catholic High School, and then later was at Creighton Prep High School, which also was all-boys school. And during that time, I know at that time she had come out as gay, and it was an all-boys Catholic high school, so that I just knew I had fears and worries about what all that would mean for her.
I was seeing on talk shows like the Phil Donahue Show or Sally Jesse Raphael, and seeing men dressed as women. And I remember being 6 years old and thinking, I remember watching it and feeling shame. I remember watching it and being like, oh, that's me. These are boys dressing like girls. And I don't know why. I don't know why that registered so deeply with me. But yeah, it was like there was just no... It's the media and what was in the media was so powerful. I remember watching movies, and I remember sitting there and seeing that a man dressed up in women's clothing was hilarious. Everyone would laugh. And that was something that I, as a 5-year-old, was inclined to do. But I did it because I wanted to be pretty. I did it because I felt like I was one of the girls. And I remember going to my cousin's dance recitals and watching them dance ballet and thinking this is such a beautiful thing. And me wanting to be able to do it. But I knew that as a boy, that was not an option for me. And so, but because I wanted it so badly, there must be something wrong with me.
So it's 2:30 in the morning. And hold on, I just need to clear my fucking head. When's it gonna get easier? So isolating. And people just don't understand it. I mean, Jesus, I thought people stared at me if they thought I might be gay. it's like I have to become immune to the fact that if someone stares at me because they think when they know I'm trans, that I've just like become numb to that. Because there are just people that will stare. Because people just don't know. Because we have a world that just doesn't know. The okay response was to flip out if someone was transgendered. Why is that okay? I mean, like, I'm just a person.
What made me want to leave Nebraska was I wanted to go somewhere where it was going to be okay to be me. And I had come out as gay in high school. I had taken a guy to prom. I was openly gay, but I still didn't feel like I was able to be me. So my hope was that I would feel at home in my body, at peace in New York City. And I was unpleasantly surprised when I got to New York City and I still didn't feel at home in my body, and I still didn't feel at peace, and I still didn't feel like I was accepted.
It was very clear that she was in a lot of deep, deep pain. I can't imagine not feeling accepted and valued for who you really are and who you're trying to tell the world, this is who I am. And to not have that love given back I can't imagine what that could do to a heart.
I was at a place on a gay club on Robertson in West Hollywood, and some straight couple is outside and they're drunk, and a woman says to me, she heard me ask for the valet key for my car, and she said, "Oh honey, look, oh my gosh, look how beautiful that man is." And she's like, "It's not fair. Oh, a man shouldn't be more beautiful than a woman." So it's like I'm hearing things like that, and I'm just like, but things like that happening over and over and over again, to the point when I was 31, it was like, it's not worth fighting this anymore.
I mean, I saw her, how much that deeply affected her, and it impacts all of us because we love her so much. And I'm so grateful she is here today, because there were times that we really, really worried about that.
When I was 18, I was living in New York City, and I just gone away to school, and I was in acting school, and at that point, I had really, even though I had come out, I had had so many amazing moments of feeling empowered in who I was. I was using drugs and alcohol to cope, like to numb out all the pain. I took 3 bottles of pills and drank a bunch of whiskey, and in the night I had vomited up blue foam because I'd taken Excedrin PM, and I couldn't understand why I wasn't dead, and I was angry that I wasn't dead. Within 2 weeks of that, I was watching MSNBC, and I see this beautiful blonde trans woman telling her story, and she's describing everything that I felt inside, and it was the first time I had ever heard anyone say it. And they showed photos of her pre-transition, and it looked just like me. And she starts saying that she feels like, if she could go back and tell her younger self one thing, it would just be to do this sooner. And then it goes to this support group of trans women. I was 19 years old at that time, and all these trans women are sitting around talking about be prepared to lose everything. We've all lost our families, we've lost our friends, but this will never go away. And so I sat there and I started weeping because I thought my whole life was over. But I knew without a doubt that this was true for me. A week later, I went home and I told my parents, I'm transgender. And my parents had no idea what that was. My parents' support, my aunts and uncles' support, my cousins' support, my close friends supporting me. Wayne Family Christmas 2023. Say hi, everyone. Thank you for cooperating, Rat. Mom, say Merry Christmas.
I said
say
Merry
hi.
3 times.
That saved my life. Because when I thought that I was going to lose everything, life seemed unbearable. It seemed unbearable, but to know that I had my parents saying they were going to help me find whatever doctors. We don't get it, we don't understand, but we're going to help you. We'll walk through this with you. That I wasn't alone.
Say hi, Dad.
That saved my life. You know, at 6 months sober, I found this amazing therapy program of professionals who are very experienced around trans health and trans medicine. And I slowly started the transition process medically. I was going to school, I was studying at conservatory, and I felt pretty normal. And, you know, after a semester at school, I had a lead in the school play that was at a Tennessee Williams play, and we finished it, and it was spring break of 2011, and it was a gorgeous spring day, and I got a call from a friend of mine who's a producer in Los Angeles. And he said, hey, I met this trans actress, and they're looking for a lead for their film. She would love to talk to you. And so I got a phone call 45 minutes later from Laverne Cox. And this is before Laverne Cox was Laverne Cox. And she was just an actor and who really loved acting. And we talked for an hour about technique and the craft and nerding out on acting. And Laverne was my first trans friend. She was my first friend who happened to be trans, but she and I had so much in common when it came to both of us being obsessed with acting. And it was the first time I'd met another trans person, a person like me, who was nerding out on the same stuff that I was. To have someone that I could sit here and talk about the things that I was going to school for, and someone that would come over and sit at my apartment and, you know, talk about boys, talk about life, and then be equally as passionate about her career. It was everything. I mean, she took me to lunch with 2 of her girlfriends who were trans. And for the first time, I remember sitting, I think we were sitting on 7th Avenue in the 20s, and we were sitting outside, and it was a fall day, and I remember thinking, we were laughing like crazy, and I remember thinking, oh my God, this is so cool. We're all trans girls sitting together, laughing, having fun in the city. Trans mentors have been incredibly important to me. I had to find them where I could in the beginning. I had to search them out in books. I had to research and look into history. And then, amazingly, I was gifted with these trans sisters who became my mentors, who have walked the path, whether it's as an actor or in Hollywood or just in dating in the world, how to navigate these things. It is so incredibly important to look to my community so that it's not so daunting. In my heart of hearts, what I want for trans people and non-binary people, that I want we are the same as you. We are the same as you. We are not here to be judged or valued, or our validity based upon what you think a woman should be, or what you think a man should be, or what you think is weird. I would love to just to feel accepted. I would love for trans people just to feel equal. I would love for a little trans person to feel like it was not something that was, a liability, that this was something of value. Because it is. It's just a perspective, just like for a young girl. She has value as a woman when she grows up. She has value as a little girl. A little boy has value. And for a little trans kid or a little non-binary kid to feel like they're lacking in value because of who they feel they are on the inside, oh, it makes me so angry. I want people to recognize our value.
I think that parents of trans and binary children can really try to educate themselves, be willing to walk the journey with their child, just try to better understand, and I think love and embracing and just really loving their child, I think, is because I think we all want to feel accepted and valued and appreciated. If you are a trans, non-binary, queer child that does not feel accepted, that does not feel loved for who they are by their family of origin, I would say run and find your family. Find the people that will love you. Find the people that will accept you for you, because they are out there. And they will keep you alive, and they will love you. The solution to humanize trans people is this: talking. Getting to know someone face to face. Putting a face to it and just being asking questions. When I came out as trans in 2001, I didn't understand it and I didn't want it to be true. And I was really ignorant. And I didn't want to admit I didn't know this stuff. But by having conversations with people and learning, my whole world opened up. And it rocked my foundation, which is uncomfortable. But it's now I understand. Now I have such a deeper understanding of my own humanity. And I think that is what's going to change things. It's through conversation, it's through vulnerability, it's through this. Yeah. All right, let's take a moment of silence for all the people that this is for, all the trans, non-binary, gender non-conforming folks this is for,
all the trans ancestors past who have lived their lives for us so that we could be here to do this today, to share, so that others can understand.